All right, You Don't Know Ball podcast. I believe this is episode 13. We didn't have a chance to get the podcast out last week because we had some technical difficulties. A little disappointing because we had a great guest on, big Minnesota Vikings. Shout out Gunner, super fan. He has some delusional takes, so maybe it was better that you guys didn't hear that. Let's just sum it up in a way that he thought JJ McCarthy was going to be an MVP, and we just watched him absolutely shit the bed versus the Bears. So probably better that video didn't get out. But nonetheless, we're back here today talking some ball. We have I feel like a lot of things to talk about. I mean, college football is 2 weeks left. We're approaching college football playoff season, and the NFL. I feel like we're at the point where we know a lot about each team and what they are really about, and it's not really what we expected, right? I mean, you've seen
No.
the top two dogs like the Chiefs and Ravens. They're fighting for playoff spots right now. Bills aren't looking very good. I mean, they got their own struggles, and it's a lot of coming into the season. The bold predictions that we had, a lot of them are claiming or they're fulfilling out to be pretty poor, to say the least. But
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the Chiefs and the Ravens is one team's trending in the right direction, one team's trending in the wrong direction. The Chiefs, dude, how about them, man? That Broncos defense is legitimate. Legitimate.
yeah,
I thought they were fraudulent. Not the defense, don't get me wrong. They have two of the best, probably two of the five best defensive players in the NFL. I really didn't believe in Bo Nix at all. I don't think he's
mhm.
anything more than a game manager, but we've seen what game managers can do in this sport, man. We saw Brock Purdy in the Super Bowl. Like, I don't. It's a new era of the NFL where you don't need that crazy quarterback to go win football games.
No,
You know what I
and
mean?
and and like they say, defense wins championships. And
Yeah.
Bo Nix, he like we both know. You watch him for the majority of the season, he's been pretty ass. Like he's missing wide open receivers. I remember the
Uh,
Colts game back in like week 2 or 3 where he missed like four open guys, deep shots. Like he's been getting a lot of criticism, but at the end of the day, he's quarterbacking a 9-2 team, and he's
yeah.
pretty clutch in the fourth quarter. He's five. Bo Nix has 5 game-winning drives this season. It's the most in the NFL. So you can hate Bo all you want, but for some reason, when it's crunch time and he's got to clutch up, he comes through. He finds a way to get it done. And credit to the defense for keeping them in these type of games when the offense is being sluggish. Because and Sean Payton has done a great job, by the way. I think Sean Payton
Yeah.
and the way that he's coaching his teams and to stay in it, stay resilient, that's a big reflection on the job that he's done. A lot of people were calling him crazy for taking the job in the first place, saying, "Oh, you can't compete with Mahomes, can't compete with Herbert," but here he is in his bag. So you got to give a lot of credit to Sean Payton. But like you mentioned, Bo Nix hasn't been the greatest, but he comes up big in those moments, man. We see it every single week.
Yeah, he did what he needed to do to win the football game. I mean, 24 for 37, that's
Hmm.
what, 65% completion percentage, 295 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He just won the football game. Didn't turn the ball over.
Hmm.
He played like a smooth football game as he could have, and it was enough to beat the Chiefs.
I
Are
think
the
Bo
Chiefs
Nix
in
on that.
trouble?
I was gonna say Bo Nix on that 2nd and 8 pass at the end of the game. I don't know if you watched that. That
Hmm.
was probably the best throw of his career. The second and eight
That's
to Troy Franklin.
Troy Franklin, yeah, his ex-college teammate.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that,
he's a
dude. It
dog.
doesn't get better. So yeah, he's missed a lot of open receivers this year. But when he makes a throw like that in crunch time against the Kansas City Chiefs,
Yeah.
when you're a 3.5 point dog,
Yep.
that's pretty legit right there. You can't knock on him for coming through like that. And then I love watching Bo Nix at the end of the game. Dude is so humble. I seriously don't know how
Yeah.
you can hate on Bo Nix because he really is a class act. 'Cause he's literally crediting the whole entire win to his other teammates for helping him out. He's what you really want at quarterback. Just the way he handles himself. He receives a lot of criticism. I'm pretty sure this was Bo Nix. I could be wrong, mistaken him, but I think he came out in a press conference the other week and said how he deleted all social media after in his times in Auburn. Actually, so it was Bo Nix,
Mhm.
and that just shows he blocks out the haters. He does a very good job of that. I don't think
Yeah.
people at home realize how hard it is to be not even just a starting quarterback, just being an athlete at a high performing level. Like me and Jack here are both Division 1 baseball players, so we don't really see it. We didn't see it as much, but there were times where if you don't perform well on the field, yeah, you're gonna get clowned. Like there's people that are talking shit on social media all the time, and
Mhm.
you got to somehow figure out how because it gets to your head, man. Like it's real.
Yeah.
You can go home at night and get a lot of like whatever you want to call it, anxiety or whatever. But like
Yeah.
I can only imagine it at the NFL level when you got all these eyes on you. And Bo Nix is still just showing up every single day and doing the right thing
Yeah.
and balling out.
Yeah, he's been
Got
an
a lot of respect.
underdog his whole career.
Mhm.
I remember we would hate on him. We would hate on him like in class and like be like, "Oh, he's 25. He's a bum. Like
Yeah,
he's at Oregon. He's not the Heisman. This and that." He's like defied all odds. Like he's been nothing short of a great quarterback in the NFL. He had a fantastic year last year. Pretty good this year. I can't believe like he's had a mediocre year and his team's 9-2. Like what does
yeah.
that say about this Broncos team? Like they look awesome, and they just
Can
beat
you name a team that
a
goes
dynasty.
into Mile High in the playoffs and beats them right now?
Like no, like
Like
I,
we know the
I,
Chief, we see the Chiefs can't.
yeah, I promise you they'll be playing at Mile High the way
Hmm.
this team's playing.
That's the
I
thing.
don't
Talk about
know,
the Chiefs
man.
too. I mean, what's your take on them right now after this loss? I mean, they're what 5-5 now. They're in
Five and
serious danger of
five,
missing the playoffs.
5-5. They're coming back home. They're gonna play Indianapolis. That's a really good Colts team, man. I mean,
Hmm.
Jonathan Taylor every week, just like he's like an auto. Like he should be minus 110 to have 2 touchdowns. Like
Yeah,
actually, like it's ridiculous. He's running all over the field. This Chiefs team's in trouble. I don't know. I know the AFC isn't as crowded as the NFC, maybe because of some injuries to some quarterbacks. I know like the Bengals are kind of down right now, and the Ravens are kind of down right
yeah.
now. I think they're in trouble. I think if they're in the NFC, they'd be in more trouble, but I think they're in trouble right now.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the odds for the Chiefs Colts game. Chiefs are a 3-point favorite, so Vegas has them expecting.
Yeah,
I think that this is a good game for them to win coming back at home. I mean, Daniel Jones has shown when you put the pressure on him, he tends to crumble. He's still turnover prone. And when you talk about the
yeah.
Chiefs run defense, they're one of the best in the game. So when you talk about someone that's built to handle Jonathan Taylor, if they can't stop him, I don't know if anyone can. Maybe the Eagles. So I still think they're going to find a way to sneak into the playoffs. Maybe it's that probably the division might get a little out of reach now that they lost to the Broncos, but they'll probably sneak in and find a wild card spot. I'm still confident that Patrick Mahomes, but I think my take on the Chiefs right now is you're seeing like even last year they had a lot of luck. Like they
Oh,
got lucky in a
all those
lot of
one
games.
possession games, bro. They won. What was it like? What were they last year in one possession games? Was it 10-0? And now they're 0-5 in one
Yeah,
possession games.
exactly.
I know
And
they're 0-5 this year in one possession games. It's like they ran out of that luck, that dark magic.
Exactly, and it's shown when you're winning the Super Bowl at such a high level, you're getting the late draft picks, you're not able to really return all the stars that you want. It wears on your team, and it's so hard to overcome. To the fact that they even went to the Super Bowl last year is, I think that gets overlooked at how they actually
Yeah,
did that, because from the way that season started and really felt like that whole season, and now you're seeing this year, like the roster is pretty depleted. Okay, they're not as strong and as talented as they were in previous years. They got no run game, and it you're just seeing that on full display. And like I said, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. He's going to find his way into the playoffs, and when they get into the
yeah,
playoffs, anything can happen. But like on paper, there you can name at least 8 other teams in the NFL that you would take over them. At least 8.
I
They're
would guess.
borderline top 10 right now on paper.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah, it'll be
when it
interesting to
comes
see how
down
they turn
to it,
out.
and it's that we talked about -3. It's so hard to bet against them. Oh my
Hmm.
God, you can't at
Yeah,
Arrowhead. You
yeah.
can't. Like that's just a game you stay away from. I think it's not who they want to play right now at home. The Colts. I don't
Mhm.
think they're in trouble like that game specifically. It's just like that's not a team you want to play off of a bad loss in division.
No. And the thing with them too, I mean, you saw last year they were on the road majority of the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
dude, even if they sneak in the playoff as a wildcard team, you can't count them out. Like they
Mhm.
still got something with them. They just know how to win in those big games. They know how to pull
Yeah.
through. You can say maybe it's the refs helping them out, whatever. You can get in that whole controversy, but they know how to win. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it
Yeah.
is. And when we mentioned too the Ravens, what do you think
Mhm.
about them? I think that they are another team similar where they're more trending up a little bit. Obviously now that they got Lamar Jackson back and the defense is looking pretty legit, but they did have a close
Yeah.
one versus the Browns. That was I
So
mean yeah.
yeah, my takeaway was Lamar played as bad as a game as he could have. 14
Mhm.
for 25, under 200 yards in the air. He threw 2 picks. Like this was a bad game for Lamar Jackson. They still beat out in division rival. This is
Mhm.
not a good Browns team. I know you saw Dylan Gabriel go down, who's terrible. I know you saw Chador Sanders chip show. That was terrible. But I think
Mhm.
Lamar, this is him at his worst, and he's winning football games because of this defense. Because We saw Derrick Henry going a little bit, which is kind of good to see because I know he hasn't had the greatest year. Um, I think this Ravens team is scary because you're not going to see a game like that from Lamar. I don't think again this season.
Yeah, yeah, especially with I mean, you look at the Browns, their defense is so legit, especially their
Yeah,
defensive line. I think that literally every team they've placed this year has had some sort of issues blocking Myles Garrett and obviously the guys across from him. Like this Browns defense is so legit. Here's my hot take for you. If the
uh
Browns still had Deshaun Watson at quarterback, they are easily a playoff team. And people
wow,
are going to call me crazy, but you look at their two rookies. Yeah, Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders. You got two rookie quarterbacks, late round picks in there. And this Browns defense is getting wasted. And the whole Dylan Gabriel Shador debate, that's a topic for another day. But they started out with Joe Flacco, who's obviously a turnover machine.
stud.
And especially especially whatever like the whole Stefanski system is just messed up for quarterbacks. But Deshaun Watson is the one guy that he's got mobility. He's able to move around the pocket. He can pick up yards on the ground. And I feel like he's got more processing and better accuracy than a Dylan Gabriel and a Shador Sanders. That you're seeing them lose a lot of close games in a sense. Like they're a playoff team with him in. I'm telling you right now. It sucks and everyone rips on the contract, which is it was definitely one of the most overpaid contracts. But in hindsight's always 2020. I think that when they signed Deshaun Watson, it looked good in the moment. Nobody was complaining about that move when they first signed him. But my point is that move has set them back for a long time.
Um,
But this Browns defense is so good, anyways, and that's why you saw Lamar Jackson struggle because he's facing a good defense, and
uh,
that's why I'm not too worried about it. I mean, especially being a divisional rival, like they're always dog fights in that game. Any division rival that
yeah,
the
I
AFC North plays.
I'm with you. Let's talk about Bears Vikings. Shout out John Bear Down Blog.
Hmm.
Bears got their revenge, man, and Caleb's hitting his stride. This defense looks good. This
Yeah,
offense looks good. Rome got the ball a little bit again. The
yeah,
young guy scored. Like DeAndre Swift looks good. Like this was a really hopeful game. They were kind of in control this whole game. They were winning at half. They won the game outright. Like this was a fantastic game by the Bears. The Vikings look terrible. Nine looked horrible. He now has nine turnovers in 5 games. This is
yeah.
the This is the quarterback they drafted in the first round that threw three picks against Bowling Green. By the way, this is the guy that threw 10 completions in the national championship and was signing cameras like he was Joe Montana. This is the same guy, by the way. This is that nine guy they drafted in the first round that keeps losing football games. He's terrible. I think Zach Wilson's better than him. This Vikings team is miserable. This Vikings team has no chance of making the playoffs, and he's the worst quarterback in this division, in the best division in football, granted, by a long shot.
See, I'm gonna play the counter argument here. Yes, you're definitely right that JJ McCarthy is the worst quarterback in the in the NFC North. But you got to treat he is a rookie. He's a rookie. All right,
Yeah,
this is it's his fifth NFL game in his career.
yeah,
And I think the flashes that you've seen from him in those moments, like you saw week one versus the Bears, you saw in his first game back, the W that he had in a comeback win, you saw him play versus the Lions. Like he's shown enough flashes where you know that the Vikings got something there. Okay. You know that the Vikings have it. It's just a matter of how do they get that consistency from him. And it's tough to get that consistency because he's still a rookie. I think that we get in our image, like we get a lot, we're so used to we've gotten really I don't know if blessed or whatever, but we've gotten really fortunate to see someone like CJ Schaub and Jaden Daniels come into the league year
yeah.
one and
We're
tear it
spoiled.
up.
We're spoiled by
Spoiled
them.
is the word I'm looking for. And now we just get this persona in our heads where if a rookie doesn't come in and light it up year one, we're like, oh, this dude's trash. This dude's a bust. They wasted all that.
Mm,
And that's what we're seeing with JJ McCarthy. I think that obviously the hype that he got with the whole nine shit, like obviously that's going to
yeah,
get a lot of
too
clowning.
funny.
Probably shouldn't have done that, but
Yeah,
it's just growing pains, man. Like obviously a division game
yeah.
is tough. I do look at JJ. I mean, the Vikings should have the Vikings scored a touchdown very late in the game and got the Bears gave the Bears with 50 seconds left. The Vikings could have easily won that game, and we would
Yeah,
the whole narrative about JJ would be completely different. But the Bears got lucky on a kick return that went like 50, 60 yards.
yeah, that was huge.
Yeah, so that's why
Um,
it's obviously JJ missed
I'm
a
with
ton of
you.
throws.
I'm with you, and I'm not gonna like give up on him, but it's just like these quarterbacks that struggle and have growing pains early on, they showed flashes in college of them being like these big pocket passers. They sling it like They throw 500 yards. Like JJ McCarthy, like he's only completed over 20 passes in a single game 4 times in his career. And this isn't his pro career. This is his football career. Like this guy, he was on a stacked college team, and you can't take that away from him. He's got a ring, and that's fantastic. His
Mhm.
team won because he had the best defense, he had the best O line, he had Blake Corum, Zach Edwards, he had the best running backs. Like this was the one of the best complete teams I've seen since that Michigan team was the best complete team I've seen since LSU. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. Like that was an unbelievable football team around him, and that's why they won the national championship. Not because he's some awesome passer. Like he made that one play action play where he was falling and made that throw, and that was all he did.
Yeah, versus
Like
you're talking about the Alabama game.
yeah, like that's
Yeah,
all. Like that's his highlight tape. That
it,
play.
it really is. I mean, the thing with him is obviously Michigan was a heavy running team, so that was their
Yeah,
strength. So obviously they're going to run. They didn't need him to throw the ball super loud, but the arm talent was there. I think back to even the year before that when the Michigan was still starting. Dude, why am I blanking on his name? Cade McNamara. And I think it was the TCU game when they were down a lot, or maybe it was Georgia, and JJ comes in
uh,
for a couple snaps at the end because they were down by a lot, and they started airing the ball out. And I remember he threw like two passes in that game that went like 50, 60 yards. And then I was talking to my brother, we were watching the game, I'm like, dude, this is why they should have played him all year. Because the arm talent
yeah.
is there. The dude has a strong I mean, he can throw a ball fucking 60, 70 yards. And that might
I've
that might be
never
a reach.
seen it, but
But
yeah,
like you're not
I've never
seeing it
seen
on the
it.
field, but he's got the talent to do that. That's why the Vikings trusted him enough to get rid of Sam Darnold. It's just a matter of him growing the confidence and taking each week or taking it day by day, getting better every
Yeah,
day. And I think we're gonna see it. I think that next year at this time, especially when you look at someone like Drake May, I mean, his rookie year wasn't anything special. I mean, it
yeah.
was pretty decent,
But
but it wasn't
I guess
anything
yeah.
special.
He
And now
shows
he's an
those
MVP.
flashes. That's what I'm looking at. Like I'm looking for upside. I'm looking for
Yeah.
that ceiling. I don't see it with JJ McCarthy. I just see like a good looking guy who can game manage a
You
little
don't think the
bit. Like
flash is like week one versus the Bears that comeback? You don't think that's a
no,
flash?
no, that was. And he looked terrible for 30 minutes of football. Maybe
Yeah.
like 40 minutes of football. He looked terrible. And yeah, he won the game against like a new Bears team with growing pains, new coach, everything. And
Mhm.
then I guess they played the Bears tight again, but like
Yeah.
yeah, maybe this Vikings team isn't horrible, but like they have no business making the playoffs. Like absolutely no
No,
business.
no
I think
business.
they're four
They're
and six. I think they're 4-6.
Yeah, they're finishing last in the NFC North for sure. There's no way
Yeah,
that they sneak in the playoffs, especially with how top heavy that division is.
yeah,
So they're it'll be interesting to see. I mean, you're already looking towards next year. The rest of this year is getting JJ some reps, playing competitive ball. I feel bad
get
for
him
Justin
ready.
Jefferson, that's for sure. I feel like
Yeah,
his career is getting his prime years are going to waste. But I mean, you're kind of just getting ready for next year, and I don't think that the Vikings necessarily regret trading away Sam Darnold because obviously, like I said before, hindsight is always 2020. I thought that trading Darnold away was the right move because you saw him in the playoff game. And how do you
yeah.
keep Darnold after getting sacked like 8 times versus the Rams in the playoff game? Like you had
That
you
was
had to roll
so
with the young
bad,
guy that you used a top 10 pick on. Like
dude. Remember talking to Gunner after that game? Oh my
yeah, dude,
God,
that was
dude, how did he
brutal.
do that? Well,
And
that's the
speaking
thing
about
with Darnold's lows are low. Here, you go ahead. You go
yeah,
ahead.
I was gonna say speaking about Darnold, we saw him this past week. How many sacks did he take? Like five or six?
He threw 4 picks.
Yeah, 4 picks. That's the thing, 4 picks.
Dude, that can't
Actually,
ever happen. That
yeah,
can't ever happen.
I take that back. I know Darnold actually didn't take a lot of sacks because he was forcing balls. He was forcing balls, and
Yeah,
that's the thing with Darnold this year. He's like he went from holding the ball too long, taking a lot of sacks, to maybe when he went into Seattle, they like honed in on him. All right, you need to get rid of the ball, and I
for
think
sure.
he's scared to hold it so that he's forcing passes to try to throw it away or make something happen when nothing's there. And that's when the pressure gets on him. And when you see a Rams team, a young Rams team that's fast and hungry and trying to get after the quarterback, yeah, he's going to crumble a little bit. And I think that's more credit towards the Rams defense for actually putting the pressure on him. They took away the run game, they took away the play action game, and they forced him into obvious passing situations. And when Darnold's in that type of situation, and maybe other guys besides JSN isn't really opening up, and those short throws and checkdowns maybe aren't there. Yeah, he's gonna get out of sorts, and he's gonna look like he's never picked up a football before.
Yeah.
Um, but I think the key for Seattle, not talking about Seattle this game, they lost by 2 points, and Darnold threw 4 picks. So what does that say about Seahawks? I think that shows that their defense is probably maybe outside of the Eagles the best defense in the NFC. And I think that will come playoff time when the Seattle's and Rams match up again on Thursday Night Football in Seattle. I think it's going to be a very different outcome. And if it isn't, then we can start having these conversations and panicking on, all right, Darnold isn't the guy. But I think when you look at Darnold, it was one bad game, and you can't
Yeah.
ignore the first 9-10 weeks that he had just because of one bad game. So I wouldn't panic on him. I think that, like I said, this was we thought it was going to be the game of the year on paper for a reason. It's two very good teams, and the Rams just showed that they were the better team that day. So it'll be interesting to see how they can rebound from it.
Yeah, what game? You want to review one more game? There's a couple things like Bryce Young looked like the MVP. He looked every
Yeah,
time people are down on Bryce Young, he goes crazy. That's all I'm
yeah.
gonna say. Ted
Honestly,
McMillan
yeah,
breakout game. He's a dog. Go Arizona. Go Wildcats. That's awesome.
yeah.
Um, I just like quick spark notes, and then we can move into this week. So like, what else did we see? Like I saw Philly versus Detroit. It was just that game sucked to watch. Like that was a poorly coached game by Dan Campbell. Like
Sucked.
very poorly
I
coached
mean, he
game.
went up like what, 0 for 5 on fourth downs, or was it 0 for
Oh
4?
my God. Like,
I mean, this was Dan Campbell's second game
um,
taking over play calling for the Lions.
oh my
I don't know
God.
if demoted is the right word, but he took it over from John Morton, and I don't think that the play calling was necessarily bad. I mean, obviously it wasn't the best. I think that you just saw the Eagles defense be better. I mean, their pass rush was legit. They were dominating the Lions
And
interior, and that's the
Jacoby Dean looked
problem.
fantastic. Jacoby Dean
Yeah,
looked fantastic in coverage. Oh my God.
100%. But like you look at the Lions, they lost two of their top interior linemen this past offseason,
Mhm.
and it's really showing. Like Jared Goff, they thrived last year. The Lions thrived last year because their O line was so good, giving Jared Goff the time in the
Yeah.
pocket, and they were able to chew clock and keep the ball out of the other offense's hands. This year you're not seeing that, and it's a shame because the Lions' defense this year is nasty. And
Yeah.
now when they finally have a good D, it's their offense letting them down. Who would have thought that? And all of these
Right.
flashy skill players they have don't mean anything if you can't block. We're seeing that with all the NFLs, all the teams that are struggling on offense around the league. It stems down to one thing: the offensive line, and it's starting to hurt the Lions. I feel like there should
Yeah.
be serious. I seriously don't think the Lions are contenders anymore because they can't block. You look at their four losses. It was the Vikings, the Chiefs, the Packers, and now the Eagles. All four of those games, they got bullied in the trenches. And I believe off the top
Mhm.
of my head, they had in those four games, they had Jared Goff got sacked 12 times and he had 75 pressures on him.
He
That
doesn't do well under pressure. Yeah.
exactly. When you
He,
get him moving around, he can't really
right.
maneuver in the pocket. So when you get
Right.
him moving,
Like,
he's not good off script. He can't really make throws on the run. I seriously can't think of a time where Jared Goff was like on a rollout making like a dime, even cross by. I
right,
seriously don't
right,
remember. I can't
right. Like
picture that in
on
my
the
head.
move, like you can't do
No,
that. Like a Caleb Williams type play
no,
he
that's
has
not
to
the
do
yeah.
10 plus times a game. Like Jalen Phillips and these Philly pass rushers were all over him. He couldn't
Mm-hmm.
get the ball in his playmaker's hand. Like
Exactly.
like what did Amon Ra had 12 targets, 2 receptions for 41 yards.
That's
That's
brutal. That's
ridiculous.
brutal. You can't
Like, and he
you
had a
can't
drop
have
or
that,
two, but
man.
that can't happen. J-Mo makes a great play and then makes a bonehead play and jumps on the goalpost. Not
Mm-hmm.
only you push Jake Bates to the 40 to a 48-yard PAT in 20-mile-an-hour winds. He misses it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden you have to go for a fourth the next drive when you could have easily taken three. That's a
Yeah.
4 point swing.
Yeah.
That's bigger than just J-Mo making a bonehead play. That's a 4 point swing, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a huge game shifter. And then
What
you see George Pickens do it the night after. It's like, what are these guys thinking?
would
Like
you would you
obviously
think
that
about
didn't
that?
matter, but
What'd you think about that call at the end of the game on AJ
which
Brown,
game?
the DPI call?
Ah man, that didn't look like it. It really
No.
like, but like we always talk about like extension. I think Collinsworth was pretty verbal about the call being not great,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
maybe
He
it was
was.
someone else. Like you
It
just see
was.
extension, it's like a clear OPI. Like anytime you see extension, it's just like bam. Like it seemed like that should be some easy call to make, but I guess it wasn't. I don't
Shitty
know that
call,
that.
but the point is, do we really have faith that the Lions are going to go score there? They were getting dominated
That's what
all
I'm
night.
saying. They needed six, so it's like are they going to score a touchdown there?
No,
Probably not.
they
But I
weren't going to
wouldn't
score a
count
touchdown.
out. I don't know. Yeah. One or two more things to touch up on. LA's in trouble, bro, and not the Rams. The Chargers are in trouble without Joe Alt. Like
Hmm.
he was such a big part of that interior offensive line.
Yeah, that was the key
Yeah,
for him. I mean,
right.
we've been saying that all year. Like, if
And
you can't protect Herbert,
ever since he got banged up, this team's falling apart. It's like him and Hampton go down. It's like this team crumbled. And
hmm
this is a Jacksonville team that's owned them since the 27 to zip lead. I don't
yeah,
know how many years ago that was. Was that 2 or 3 years ago? Might have been
that was
three.
3 years
Three
ago.
years
Yeah, yeah,
ago.
yeah,
Dude, Jacksonville's outscored them what was like 66-9 since then.
yeah.
This is
That's
ridiculous. But
yeah,
like
that is ridiculous.
it's absolutely brutal.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't have any faith in Justin Herbert come playoff time. I mean, obviously we know the stats. It's going to be hilarious when he doesn't get enough. If they do make the playoffs and he loses again, like I think people still love to
Unmitigated.
glaze Herbert because he puts out the highlight saves, but he's got to win, bro. You got to win playoff games, and that's how you get judged as a quarterback, winning playoff games. That's why I still don't get how everyone hates on Jalen Hurts. Dude's a winner. Okay, he is a winner no matter what. If you say he's carried or not, the fact is if Herbert doesn't win a playoff game, this is do or die here. You can talk about all the O line. This is the best receiving core he's had. The defense is solid, and if he doesn't win, it's I think it's on him. I seriously do think it's on him
Yeah.
because he's got pieces
Uh,
around him. If he's not, no O line is great in this league besides the Broncos. Maybe there's
yeah.
no offensive line that is going to give you clean pockets all day. You got to figure out how to maneuver around it. And Justin Herbert being this mobile guy with a bunch of arm talent, he's got to figure it out. He's got to figure it out if he wants to win teams. Like there's no more excuses for him, in my opinion. It's year 6 now. Okay, let's win a playoff game.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't want to cut you off here. I like
Yeah,
absolutely
no,
agree.
I'm good with
Moving on
the
to this
Chargers.
week.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the slate. My game of the week that really jumps off the slate for me is Steelers Bears because there's playoff implications. Absolutely
Yeah.
are. I know the Bears are so hyped about the Lions losing, and I know Pittsburgh's scary because the Ravens are knocking with Lamar
hmm
back. This is a huge game. Chicago's -3 at home. I think it's a coin flip, dude. I know Mason Rudolph might be starting, but he looked great. Like, I don't want to like say that because they played the Bengals defense, but like that looked as good as their offense has looked. Like, is that
No,
ridiculous?
that is very ridiculous.
Bro, they looked awesome. I don't have any stats to back it up. I don't know if you guys watched that game. I actually had I had that Pittsburgh game on one TV and I had Red Zone on the other, so I really could watch it. Mason Rudolph looked good, bro. And I know
I
Jalen
think,
Warren went down, which sucks, but he came
yeah,
back.
yeah.
Gainwell looked like awesome again.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't watch any Mason Rudolph come in the game,
Yeah,
but I've loved how Aaron Rodgers. I know Aaron Rodgers on the Sunday night game looked pretty shaky, but outside of
yeah,
that, he's been playing really good ball. And I
yeah.
think that without him, especially I was the reason that I thought the Steelers were gonna win this game is because Aaron Rodgers does own the Bears. But now
Mm,
that he's not playing, I think the Bears get it done. I mean, they're at home. They're on a very hot streak right now. I think when you look at
right?
their defense, they're ball hawks. They lead the league in interceptions, and Caleb Williams just seems to have it going. There was a period versus the Vikings game where everything was out of sorts a little bit. Ben Johnson got very conservative. It was probably Ben Johnson's like most poor coached game, and I think that kind of is motivating to where they're going to fix it next week. Okay, they struggled last week. They kind of got a little grounded in a sense because they really should have lost that game. They kind of got lucky,
Uh,
and so now they're going to come back this week and figure it out. It's just my high level take,
I'm with
but
you.
I think that they're getting. I don't trust the Steelers back end defense, even though they shut down Jamar Chase, which is a whole different topic too. But like Jamar Chase had
Yeah.
3 catches and 30 yards,
And then he
which is
threw a
very
fit.
surprising.
And then he
And
threw
then
a
he
fit.
threw the fit. But the thing with the Bears, like they don't have like a stud receiver that you need to key on. They got a bunch of like mini
So,
weapons.
so,
They got a
so, yeah, who do you throw on? Oh no,
what's up?
He's on the Raiders. So, like, who do you throw? Who do you put on Jamar? If
Who do
you're
you
the
put on
Bears.
Jamar
Yeah,
for?
I don't know. Like, well, you're talking about the Bears, right, or no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who guards Jamar.
Oh no, I mean, are you talking about the? Did the Bears play? The Bears already played the Bangs.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. I thought you were talking about a hypothetical.
No, no, no. I'm talking about who?
Because
Like I'm talking about
Pittsburgh just played Bengals, yeah.
The Steelers secondary. Who do
Yeah,
they like? They don't got to really key on one. The Bears got a bunch of like mini weapons that can attack you.
yeah.
Is my take. Like they got the Roma dudes, they got the DJ Moore, they got the Loveland. I know Komet's
Mm,
struggling, but they got Luther Burden and DeAndre Swift.
good for
They got a bunch of
them,
mini
yeah.
pieces that you got to always take an account of, and I think that matches up very well because the Steelers run zone coverage a lot, and you're seeing like ever since they moved Jalen Ramsey to
Ramsey,
safety,
yeah.
he's kind of been out of sorts a little bit, and they just seem a little like not all there. And I think that if the Bears do lose this game, it's going to be on they just didn't show up to play because on paper I feel like they match up very very well. So I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to see that. I think when we talk about my game of the week, dude, how can it not be the Eagles Cowboys? I think the Cowboys got some momentum. And now being back home with the Eagles, if you think back to that Week 1 game, that was a very tight one. I thought that the Cowboys played well. Dak Prescott was making some very high level throws. Dak Prescott should be in the MVP conversations. I don't know why he isn't. And you look at this Eagles team that has been completely on offense, shut down the past 2 weeks. They're winning. They won 2 games in a row. Defense is balling out. But how can they slow down this Dak Prescott led offense with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb? CeeDee Lamb, like I said it Week 1 before the game. CeeDee Lamb owns Quinyon Mitchell. Quinyon Mitchell cannot guard CeeDee Lamb. I know that Quinyon Mitchell's being all this praise for being one of the top corners in the league right now, and that his
so
stats back
good.
it up. But he cannot guard CeeDee. CeeDee cooks him every single matchup. And now that you got George Pickens on
Pickens
the
is
other
so
side, this
good.
isn't going to be Week 1 where they had a rain delay or rainy weather. No, they're going to be still airing it out indoors. I think that the Eagles are on upset watch this week. The Eagles are on upset
Yeah.
watch. I think that when you look at the Cowboys interior defensive line, now that they brought in Quinion
Quinn
Williams, match him up
Williams,
with
he
Kenny
looked
Lark,
good, man. He was
legit
getting to the
defense.
quarterback the other day. He
Yeah,
was
bro.
getting to the quarterback the other day. And I was like, that's one of those you go with your eyes like this when you see the Cowboys getting to the quarterback. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Jerry Jones cooked. Jerry Jones cooked with this move, bringing him in. I think that he gets a lot of hate, but he did very well trading Micah Parsons to getting both of these two guys, and he's got another first round pick. Like,
Yeah, I
dude,
love
you
Q. I love Q just as much as the next guy. Um, yeah, that was yeah. We'll see.
yeah,
But like
it's gonna be a
then
fun one.
again, at the end of the day, it's only a good move if Dallas does something. What are they? 4-5-1.
4-5-1,
Like
so they're trying to get back to a
like
little
this is a
technically over 500,
must-win
right?
game.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is a must-win game.
Must-win game. I mean, the wild card race in the NFC is very tight, so
Yeah.
they need this badly. I
Who's
mean,
up there? I think the Lions are out of it, so the Lions are in
yeah,
front of the
Lions. You look at the
Cowboys.
NFC West. I mean, the Niners are 7-4, and then you got the Rams and Seahawks, and so
Uh,
like the final spot right
dude,
now, it's the Lions, Packers. I mean, the Cowboys need this one, man.
all of a sudden the Vikings beat Green Bay this week, and there's life there. Like that would be worst case scenario for Dallas.
So I'm
Oh
looking at the
god.
schedule right now. Do we know that the Cowboys play at Detroit Thursday Night Football in a couple weeks? That
Oh
is
no,
a
that'd be
big
sweet.
game. That's a big game.
That'd be sweet.
I'm looking forward to that, seeing if the Cowboys can go on the road and get a dub there. But Cowboys got a pretty tough stretch between the Eagles, Chiefs, and Lions coming up. So we're gonna learn
They
a lot
do.
about them. If they can somehow win 2 of these next 3, then I think they're a playoff team.
Yeah.
I think that if you're gonna drop one, you got to drop the Chiefs one on Thanksgiving. But I love the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. I think that they're historic. I don't know the stats off my head, but I think historically they're pretty damn good on Thanksgiving. So,
Yeah.
uh,
This
that,
game that's staring at me is Tampa Bay Rams. How are the
mm.
Rams? How are they giving the Rams 7 points?
Tampa Bay is just banged up, man.
Is that why?
Yeah, they're a little banged up. I don't know if Bucky Irvin's gonna
Yeah.
be. Did Bucky Irvin play last week?
No, he did
He
not.
didn't. Yeah, so maybe
Sean
maybe
Tucker
he'll be
actually
back.
broke out last week for 106 yards.
That's
I'm a
true.
sicko for knowing that. But
No, no, I
Rashad White,
was looking at. Yeah, no, I
Rashad
saw that.
White kind of has been really mediocre since Bucky Irving leaving. He's kind
Yeah.
of just been like a check down guy. Hasn't really gotten anything going on the ground for the past 5 weeks.
Mhm.
So they kind of like started incorporating Sean Tucker, and he broke loose twice the other day.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that. It looked like a split backfield until Bucky comes back. He should be back this week, if not next week. I think it's a little shoulder he's worried about
Yeah.
right now. I know
Okay.
he had 2 injuries, but yeah, Mike Evans is banged up. Godwin should be back. Egbuka had a subpar week last week. Yeah, it should be interesting. This Rams team is so good. Stafford looks like an
So
MVP.
good. I think
Like
that's more why they're favored because
it's more,
they're
yeah,
yeah. And you
yeah,
look at the Bucks though, dude. They got to be careful because the Panthers are right behind them, man. Who would have thought that? I mean,
right.
could you imagine seeing the Panthers in the playoffs after all the shit Bryce Young's got?
Well, dude, now they got San Francisco in San
Mm,
Francisco on prime time Monday.
mm.
That's a huge game. San Francisco's -7.
Yeah,
Are
I
they
think
that?
that.
Are they that good? I mean, Kittle looked fantastic the other day.
I mean, with
McCaffrey
Brock
looked
Purdy back, yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, you're right.
I'm looking
Purdy's
at right
back.
now, dude. The Panthers Bucks play each other twice in 3 weeks to end the season. Those are probably going to be some pretty meaningful games. I'm pretty sure that we'll be sitting here watching the Panthers Bucks on like maybe a prime time in week 18 because that's going to be maybe
Yeah,
could be for the division. So that'll be an interesting one. It's
yeah,
funny how schedules work out like that, man. Like how they
right.
always end up being. Maybe this NFL was scripted,
I mean,
but
yeah, right. This Pittsburgh game against Chicago is so important for them because the Ravens have a scheduled win playing the Jets at home.
mm,
Like if I'm a Ravens fan, do you even go to that game? Like the
no,
Jets are so pitiful. It is a game the Jets would win. Like when, oh my God,
not as
and just
13-point
ruin.
dogs,
Yeah,
man. Tyrod Taylor starting. Did
T-Mobile
Tyrod Taylor play in the Ravens, by the way?
on the Ravens. Yeah,
He did. Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that we'll be talking about. So the Ravens and Steelers didn't play yet this year, so I don't know who necessarily gets a tiebreaker, who would be in first right now.
yeah.
If they won, and then is Joe Burrow going to be back soon? What's the latest on him?
Burrow's back week. This is week 11. He's next week or in 2 weeks. He is.
Yeah, I'm googling it right now.
Dude, I don't know about you. Did you see the Cam Scatterbo on Raw at the WWE throwing hands?
Yeah, I did
It's
see that. I
hilarious.
saw that
Dude, I
video.
thought his ankle was in a gazillion pieces like 2 weeks ago. It
Yeah,
looks
he went.
fine.
Yeah, Scadabo went on XCA earlier, and he was calling out his fans if they're ripping him for having fun when he's dealing with some adversity with his injury and dealing with a shitty time. That I'll go ahead and unfollow him. I don't
So
see a
funny.
problem with it. I don't know why people are ripping Scadaboo. Like, yeah, he's at fucking
Yeah,
WrestleMania. What's he supposed to do? Just sit locked up in his. It's not the
yeah,
best look, but
exactly. It's not. He's not fucking smashing beers on his head at a frat party. Like he's
yeah,
at like a WWE event with his teammates, right? I think like a few Giants were there.
yeah. Do you remember in the
So
playoff when Arizona State was in the playoff last year and he was trending on social media because he was at the bar the night before the game?
so awesome.
This
I
isn't the
can't believe
first
this is
time.
going.
Like, dude, Scadaboo's got. Dude, I love Scadaboo, but yeah, he seems to be on the wrong side of these social
He's
media
crazy.
stuff. Well, pretty often.
Yeah,
So, but
yeah.
yeah, I think before we wrap it up, I wanted to check real quick because I know I think the college football playoff brackets just dropped now as we're on.
Oh, really?
Actually, no, it's going to be on at 8:30, so that's a little bit. We got to wait a little bit for that, but I'm
Okay.
interested to see what they where they rank some after the Bama loss, what happens with that, and obviously, a couple other where did they put Notre Dame, where did they put Oklahoma? So I'm going to be on the lookout for that.
Rip Ty Simpson Heisman campaign,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I think when you look at Heisman, man, I think that I don't see how you give it to Mendoza, man. I think
How
that
you do? How
because
could you
bro,
not?
I think Julian Sand technically deserves it better than him. I think that if Julian Sand balls out versus Michigan, he's gonna get it because, dude, who does Mendoza like? You watch Mendoza versus Penn State, and I don't know, man. He hit a bad
Oh man.
pick, and the
One,
deal like
dude.
it
He's
wasn't crazy
so.
stats against a mid team.
I'll tell you this. In division at Penn State, that's not an easy game to play in. I know you did a wild card video on this. You said upset watch. Like that was a trap game, and I think every team goes through a trap game. It's like it's not about winning. It's not about how much you win the game by. It's just not losing. It's just avoiding that loss, and I think that's a win in itself.
See,
Like
but was Iowa a trap game for them?
yes, no. So those are his two little like okay games. He won
Because he
both
played two
football
good
games.
teams.
Yeah, but he won both football games. That's the
He did win.
thing,
He did
man.
win. I'll give him that. He
Like
clutched
he
up at
just
the end. Yeah.
he clobbered Oregon. Like like he hung 55 on Wisco. Like this guy just slings it every Saturday. And then
Yeah.
he goes on LinkedIn and just connects with people. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But
It
I'm
is
all
kind
in
of
on
geeks, man.
Mendoza.
I think he's a good NFL prospect. I really do. I think that he's got the demeanor for,
He's a jet.
especially if you want to talk about the Jets. He's probably the perfect guy for the Jets to deal with all the bullshit that goes on
Ruin.
there.
Yeah, he's the
Um,
perfect guy for the Jets to ruin.
yeah, but yeah, I think that about wraps it up. I think we got some good discussion in.
Yeah,
I guess maybe you'll our listeners will be seeing a following up follow up episode this Thursday. We got gonna bring back
Thursday
Harris with a little
5.
Blazing Five talk, so stay on the
Sweet,
lookout for
sweet.
that.
And then maybe, dude, maybe if we feel up to it, when you leaving Sunday,
I'm not sure yet.
we could do like a little recap. You want to bring your stuff
Yeah,
Sunday
we can do
morning
that.
or like
So yeah, if you guys made it far of this video, this weekend is the Lehigh Lafayette rivalry. So if you don't know what that is, if you're looking at the slate this weekend, you're seeing Oregon, USC. You might think that's the best game. You might see some of the SEC like
Ohio State,
Tennessee,
Michigan?
Florida. That could be the best game. No, the best game is going down in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, Lehigh Valley, between Lehigh and Lafayette.
Oh
It's
yeah.
the oldest rivalry in college football. Lehigh is undefeated right now in FCS play, undefeated in Patriot League play, and Lafayette is undefeated in Patriot League as well. This is probably the biggest Lehigh I've seen in. I mean, I've known Lehigh for 6 years, so at least in my 6 years being at the school, this is the biggest one that I've seen, and I think that the whole campuses are
Yeah.
going to be buzzing.
It's
So
gonna be a sweet
we'll be at the
environment.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a sweet environment. We're excited. Lehigh is open as 11.5 point favorite.
Really? It's
So
that
we'll see what
high.
happens at La. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I think Lehigh wins by 2 touchdowns.
Dude, I can't
But
believe that. Really? I feel like it would have been
crazy,
like 3-4. Damn.
right? Crazy, crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. I guess
Yeah,
home field
so
advantage doesn't do too much, but
yeah.
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see what
That,
happens. Yeah, I'm
that'll be
excited
good.
for it. As
But
always, you guys, you don't know ball, but we do. Thank
yes,
you.
sir.